Good morning and welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for joining us. So it's early and it's cold and we're on our way back to Mr. Thomas's house to fix a problem that we created. So we're at Mr. Thomas's RV. Say hi, Mr. Thomas.
Hello.
The last video you saw us install these gas stops on his RV propane tanks. And these are awesome because they are a propane safety valve that stops the flow of propane if it senses a leak. By installing these, we create a small problem because of his setup. On our RV, it doesn't have this problem, but because both of his tanks are in the same compartment with this regulator right here and these pigtails, we now have the pigtails at an extreme angle, and the door, you can see right here, is hard to close because of this angle right here. It's actually causing a leak right here, and it's triggering the gas stop. So I reached out to Gas Stop and told them about our situation, and they have us covered. They actually have pigtails they make because of this, because when you add the gas stop right here, you actually add some more space, which causes the stock pigtails to maybe be in a weird angle or not work so well. So they sent us two of these, a stainless steel and a rubber one that have these 90-degree fittings on them. They sell them in 12-inch, 18-inch, and 24-inch pigtails. Another thing to note is if you are buying these, you need to make sure that you have the right connection. So the pigtails come with a 1/4-inch male inverted flare fitting. Mr. Thomas and my RV as well is actually 1/4-inch MPT. So they actually have these adapters on their websites. It's 1/4-inch MPT to inverted 1/4-inch female flare. So make sure you get these. And the good news is our discount code PNP10 will work on everything on their website. So go over there and get yourself some gas stops and some new pigtails and get yourself set up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna change out these stock pigtails for these 90-degree ones and fix his problem so that he's not having a propane leak and he'll be good to go. We have the old pigtails changed out with the new 90-degree ones, and it changes everything. So now you can see the pigtails are not in a weird angle on this side too, and the door can close without hitting the gas stop. We have fixed our leak right here, and we've added the protection of the Gas Stop safety propane valve. Gas Stop is actually partnering with us now, and you can save yourself 10% by going to their website. And that's 10% on anything on the website, the gas stops and the pigtails if you need them. Just check the link in the description below or use the code PNP10 to save yourself 10%. Also, they've agreed to do a contest with us. That's right, we're giving away 2 gas stops. So 2 of you will win 1 gas stop apiece. And all you gotta do to enter is go to our website, pavingnewpaths.com, and purchase anything from our store. A sticker, a hoodie, a hat, a t-shirt, anything gets you entered to win one of these gas stops. So this contest is running from today, January 12th, through January 22nd. So get over to Paving New Paths and get yourself some merch and get entered to win one of these gas stops. We got Mr. Thomas hooked up. We fixed his propane problems. Now I need y'all's help. We need to figure out what's going on with my truck. We have a problem with the truck. Maybe simple, maybe not. And we got a new friend, well, an old friend, decided to help me out for the day.
How are y'all?
I see you found your chair again.
I guarantee it.
Check out that sweet shirt. Oh, and you're wearing the jacket
I got
and the new hat. Man, you guys go get yourself some of that merchandise. It'll be entered to win those gas stops like I mentioned earlier. You guys probably want to know what's going on with this truck. Well, we have to pop the hood to find out. All right, guys, so we're having a problem with the truck, and it involves something under the hood. So my truck has been doing some really weird stuff lately. And really weird, I mean, like when I started up, the nav screen doesn't have the same settings. The time keeps changing. The settings on my display behind the steering wheel, they're changing to whatever they want to be. The seat, sometimes when I start the truck, the seat doesn't move when I get in. When I turn the truck off, the seat doesn't move back. All kinds of things are going on. I've been researching it, and a lot of guys are saying from the forums that when it starts doing weird things like that, you likely have a battery going bad. My truck has that battery and that battery. You guys saw me diagnose a problem with my air compressor system, and I actually suggested I think a battery might be going bad. I actually tested the batteries and they both seem good. Well, I think I tested them incorrectly, and I could have had a bad battery then, didn't know about it, because when I tested it, I didn't unhook any leads. Well, since I have 2 batteries, it doesn't matter whichever one I test, I'm gonna read the voltage that's the average of both. So today, we're gonna get our meter out, we're gonna pull leads off batteries and check each battery individually, because the more I read about it and the more I've researched it, I probably have a battery that is going bad, and that's what's causing these problems. And the thing is they started happening with the air compressor But all these weird problems that started happening as soon as it got cold. The first freeze in Branson was when this truck started acting funny. Now, once you start it up and drive it, the problem never happens again. It's just when it sits overnight, it's the first start of the day. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Right now, we still have both batteries hooked up, and I'm gonna show you the readings. So on the passenger side battery, with it still hooked up to the driver's side battery, we're reading 12.58 volts. Now we're gonna move it over here to the driver's side. We're reading 12.59 volts. So with them hooked up, we're gonna read the same voltage because they're tied together with the battery leads. Now we're gonna unhook the leads and measure each one and see if they both read the same or if that is an average of the two batteries. Here is the driver's side battery with the leads disconnected and we're reading 12.87 volts. Here's the passenger side battery. Now I'm a little bit confused because this one's reading 12.73. So right now, my multimeter says both batteries are good when they're disconnected. They're actually both stronger disconnected than they are when they are connected. So the next thing is, since the voltage is reading right, and I just drove, and this problem only happens when it sits overnight, we're gonna go up to AutoZone or O'Reilly's, probably O'Reilly's, and we're gonna have them test both batteries and figure out if one is bad. We're actually not at O'Reilly's or AutoZone, we're at Advanced Auto Parts. We're gonna get these batteries checked out and find out if there is something going on with them. The voltage meter says they're good, but there's definitely something funny going on about the truck every morning when it first starts up. They came out here and they hooked the machine up and they said both batteries are actually bad. Phil, did you see what was going on out there?
I saw it.
So this is how East Texas we are. The lady that was testing my batteries works at Advanced Auto Parts. Her dad was here and he works at O'Reilly's. So it's a family tradition to work at auto parts stores. And I said, they let you come in the building over here? And he goes, I used to work here too. Anyway, East Texas stuff. But she said both of my batteries are bad. Well, now I find that weird because the truck does start, but how can they both be bad? So just to keep them honest, we're gonna go to probably AutoZone and let them test it. We're gonna see if they say the same thing. If they do, we're changing both of them. I mean, we're gonna change both of them anyway. So we're here at AutoZone and we're gonna let them test the batteries and find out is one or both of them bad. You're not gonna believe this.
What?
AutoZone says both batteries are bad as well. But yet we keep getting in a truck with two bad batteries and it starts up just fine. We know there's something going on with the batteries. I never thought both would be bad. So now we're going to the green store, O'Reilly's, and we're gonna see what they say is wrong with this truck. We're gonna end up changing batteries, both, no matter what happens. But so far, I thought there was one bad battery and two places have said there's two bad batteries. So we're gonna get a third opinion. We're at the third store, the green store, O'Reilly's, and we're gonna find out if one or both batteries are bad. Either way, we've already have two opinions saying at least one of the batteries are bad. So today we're likely buying new batteries, but we're gonna find out from a third source which one is bad. And then we have to figure out what kind of battery we wanna use.
One battery or two?
O'Reilly's says the passenger or the driver's side is 100% bad. That one may be bad. They won't confirm or deny that one's bad. That one's the point. They need to take it out of the truck, put it on their machine inside to decide if it's bad. So 100% bad, maybe bad. So right now we have two stores saying both bad and one store saying maybe 50% bad. Now we have to decide, what are we gonna do? Because obviously there is a battery problem. The truck still starts. Oh, look at that. Starts with dead batteries. Anyway, I know they may not be dead. They're just going bad. And eventually it's not gonna start. So we need to fix the problem. Now we have to talk about what kind of batteries should we get? They have lead acid, they have AGM. All kinds of research I've done says don't go with the Optimas, don't go with AGMs. Just go with the standard lead acid from Walmart or Sam's, or even go back to Ford and get the lead acid. Because the cheaper batteries, or honestly they say all batteries are basically made by the same four companies anyway, so it doesn't really matter the brand you buy. Just go get the one with the best warranty, because there's a Sam's everywhere, there's a Walmart everywhere, there's Fords everywhere, there's all these auto parts stores everywhere. So just buy the best bang for the buck and get one with a warranty that's 3 to 4 years, and then maybe next time we get free batteries instead of having to buy brand new batteries on a This is a 2020 truck. It's 2022 right now. Essentially, these are probably 3 years old. We'll know when we take the batteries out what the date code is, but I imagine they're probably 2019 batteries, so these batteries are 4 years old probably. Who knows? What kind of batteries did you guys get? I'd love to ask you and wait for your answer, but I'm gonna have to get batteries before y'all answer me. But y'all let me know what batteries to get. I'm leaning towards the standard, not fancy, the one with the best warranty. The lady at Advanced Auto kind of sold me on the AGMs. Plus, they are the same price as a lot of the other ones, and they get a 4-year warranty. So why not give an AGM with a 4-year warranty a try? They've absolutely, all 3 places, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, and Advance, all said, do not buy an Optima. Even though they had them front and square in the center right there advertising, they all said, do not buy these batteries. We return more of these batteries than we sell.
Oh.
So it's one of those things, like even, you know, the forums online say don't buy those batteries. The places that sell them say don't buy them. So I'm gonna go with my gut and say I probably don't need to buy those. You guys let me know. AGM, lead acid, Sam's, Walmart, Ford. Should I get a one with a good warranty? What should I do? The situation has gotten a little better. We just called Ford and asked about their batteries, and he told me the batteries come with a 3-year warranty. And I said, well, my truck's a 2020 and it's 2022. So my truck should still be under the 3-year warranty. So now we're going up to the Ford house to see if they'll test them and if they'll fix them under warranty. We might get free batteries, Phil.
That sounds good.
That sounds better than spending $600, because every place I've gone has been between $500 and $600 for replacement batteries. We're at the Ford house and we're going to get our batteries checked, and the guy told me that they could be under warranty. The funny thing is, Phil goes, you know what's funny is, like, the place that's trying to sell you batteries said the batteries are bad. He goes, the place that has to maybe give them to you for free is gonna say they're perfectly fine.
Good.
Didn't you, Phil?
Good to go, buddy.
He goes, you know Ford is not gonna tell you they're bad if they had to give them to you for free. So we're gonna find out, is Ford gonna give us new batteries? Or are they actually bad? Or is AutoZone, O'Reilly's, and Advance been just trying to sell me some batteries? Guess what the Ford house said?
It's not under warranty.
Exactly.
That's what I figured.
They told me, well, you're less than 3 years, no big deal, we'll do it. He goes, how many miles are on it? And I said, 70,000. He goes, well, they're not under warranty no more. And I said, okay, what about the new batteries? If I buy new batteries today, worth the warranty on it? 3 years, 36,000 miles. So they're not even gonna test them, because even if I do buy them here, oh, he's coming back out. The Ford man came outside while we were talking, we were interrupted, and he told me to roll my window down, and he changed the tune. He said only the original batteries have the 36,000 mile warranty, that the new batteries have a 3-year unlimited mile warranty, and the Ford batteries are the cheapest by a long shot compared to AutoZone, O'Reilly's, or Advance. So the Ford batteries are only $139 a piece. All the other ones are $229 to $239. So we're talking like almost $100 more a battery. Even the Advanced Auto Parts says our batteries are the same as Ford's. But then she started backing up when I said, but why is Ford's $100 cheaper? Looks like we're getting 2 new batteries here from the Ford house. They're not under warranty, but they are the cheapest batteries, and they're the ones that came with it. They're the ones that lasted this long, so we're gonna go ahead and put the same ones in it. We got brand new batteries in the truck. We actually changed them ourselves right here in front of the parts department. It was half price. So I paid $330 for 2 new batteries with a 3-year no questions asked warranty from Ford. The other places wanted, the cheapest one was $500 for lead acids, and the AGMs were $600. So I essentially paid not really half price.
Right at it.
Like $150 cheaper over the box store places. So again, the Ford house had me mad, and he came out and stopped me as I was leaving and said, no, I was wrong on the warranty. The warranty is 3 years, no questions asked. So we got 4 batteries in it, because, you know, if Ford thought they were good enough the first time around, good enough the second time, even though the first time around wasn't that good. They didn't make it 3 years. Hopefully the next ones will make it 3 years and we'll get some free ones. Also, we just found out that I've been getting ripped off on oil changes.
Yeah.
I told you guys support local business. Well, I think I'm gonna start supporting local Ford business. So I've been paying $150, $160 for an oil change. The Ford place does it for $107 on a diesel. I don't know if I can do it that cheap myself. I can maybe do it for 90-ish by myself. It was so funny. Phil over here goes, what about Dodge? He
I got a
goes,
Dodge.
we'll even save you some money on your Dodge.
That's right.
Right here at the Ford house. We've come to a point where the Ford house is cheaper to change oil in the Dodge than Dodge place.
That's right.
So now our battery problem is solved, and they told me that in fact when it does start doing weird things inside the cab, I could actually probably ask the technician to go hook it up, and they would tell me I have low voltage alarms on my PCM and some other module that controls all this stuff. So whenever your truck starts doing weird things, most likely it is a battery. So we got new batteries now, we're good to go. We started it back up, the time is normal, the radio stations are normal, my seat went back to the right spot. So hopefully we're done dealing with batteries. Whoa, Phil. What did you just say? I gotta stop. What did you just say? Oh, let's get the logo in the background.
I'm glad we came to the Ford place.
Oh man. And that's coming from a guy that drives a Dodge truck. He just said he's glad. Let me get the logo next to your face. Smile. Smile for the camera. Now everyone knows you really want a Ford. Welcome back. And guess what? We're in Texas, and winter is coming. It's not the winter like some of you guys up north, but for Texas, it's coming, and it's coming hard. Right now it's already 45 degrees. And before we finish filming this little bit right here about how we're gonna do some things to winterize this thing, it's gonna be below freezing. But I have a special guest.
How y'all doing?
Hey, where is your chair?
My chair is too cold for a chair.
That's right, even the chair got winterized. We are actually living in this RV right now, but we're kind of staying with Phil and Lolo. But we're staying here every night because we didn't want to move out of the RV just to move back in once Christmas was over. So I'm gonna show you what we do to winterize our RV. Now normally we try to avoid any weather below freezing if we can, but we have been in very cold weather before. We were in cold weather in St. Louis last year, we were in Kansas City, and in Arkansas right before Christmas last year. We had several nights in the teens. Tonight it's gonna be in the teens. Actually I think it's gonna be in the, was it gonna be 11 or 12 tonight with the wind chill around 0. So this will be not the coldest we've been in, but pretty cold. So I'm gonna show you guys what we do to live in a camper when it's cold. We actually don't do a lot of things very special. It's very easy if you're living in it to keep it from freezing up. The first thing we're gonna do is we need propane because our entire RV, the underbelly is heated by propane. So that's how we keep the important stuff from freezing up, is we run our furnace. So we're gonna take the propane tanks up to the local propane store, get them topped off, and then when we get back, we'll talk about all the other things we do to make sure that we don't freeze anything up living in this RV. We're back from getting the propane, and Phil, it's already dropped. Winter is coming, the wind's blowing. It's probably in the low 40s now, so we've done lost 10 degrees. Just a few hours north of us, it's already in the low 20s. It's coming. So we had the propane topped off, which means we're good to go for the furnace. And right now what we're doing is we have our water hose hooked up and we're filling our freshwater tanks. So we'll top off the freshwater tanks, 160 gallons in there. We'll turn our tank heaters on so that won't freeze. And as soon as we're done filling it, we'll take the water hose, the pressure regulator, and all that stuff, and we're gonna put it inside the RV. The next thing is we are dumping all of our tanks right now. So we're removing the black tanks and the gray tanks. We're gonna make sure they're empty. So we actually leave the sewer tube hooked up to the main one. And the reason we do that is because you see how that is exposed right there? So this right here is out in the open. There's nothing you can do about that from freezing up. And we all know, even if you close the valves, there's still some leak by. Well, my idea is I don't want it leaking by and filling that up and freezing that. I would prefer to have all the valves open. When I say open, I'm not saying that we leave our black and gray tanks open. They're all closed. What I'm saying is I leave the Valterra valve open so that anything that might leak by those to here does not get stuck there. Instead, it flows all the way out to the dump. And so far that's worked for us. I know a lot of people are saying you should get a heated water hose. Well, we travel all the time, and most of the time we try not to be in cold weather. So a heated water hose doesn't really work for us because we try to avoid this kind of situation at all costs. That, and it doesn't store well. We have a lot of parks we stay at, they've covered everything but this. They always say when you sign in, if that freezes, you're responsible for all this. So we take ourselves out of the liability by just filling our tanks, which will last us the whole time it's freezing, and then pulling our stuff back off. That way, if that freezes, that's their problem, not ours, because we weren't hooked up using it. Winter is really coming. It is freezing up here right now. So the next thing we need to do is kind of a inconvenience. It's an awesome option to have, slide toppers. And the top of these AC. So top of AC's got water on it, got water on it, got water on it. All because it's been raining a lot. But this slide topper right here, so we have 3. Bedroom, refrigerator, and then the main living room. So the problem is, those 2 are so small, it just runs off. So this one and that one, the water just runs off. This one right here, the problem is, if you make your rig level, it's so big, it will not run off. And a lot of you guys have told me, oh, just put a beach ball under there. We move all the time, and I don't know how to put a beach ball in there and get it back out, because the top of this slide is like 12 and a half, 13 feet off the ground. So if I put a beach ball in there, how am I supposed to get it out? Because all I have is this broom. So I can push it in there, I don't know how I'm gonna push it out. This is one of the inconveniences of having these big slide toppers. They're awesome because they keep things off, but they're also not cool because they make water sit right there. Normally, I would just drain it from the bottom. So I stand on my stairs down there and I use this and I just prop it up till it drains off. But since it's gonna freeze tonight for the next 24 to 36 hours, I don't want that to become ice. So we're gonna go ahead and get all the water off that guy. The water's off the slide topper, and I use this time to go ahead and get all the water out of the gutters. We all know the gutters are awesome, but the gutters do hold water, especially when you're around trees. Those things drop into the gutters and they start to make little dams. I went ahead and cleaned out the gutters, cleaned out the slide toppers. Hopefully we should be good to go because, like I said, it's gonna be freezing for 36 hours at least, if not more. So we're still working out here. Phil is in the truck because Phil's getting cold. It actually is getting cold. It's not his fault. It's cold out here. We have the freshwater tank filled. We have our black and gray tanks drained. We leave that hooked up because we like any of the residual that comes between the inside valves and the outside valve to just keep moving. And now I'm gonna go show you what we do on the inside to take care of our RV when it gets cold. Now, we're not experts, but this is what we've done for 2 years. And we're by no means the people you should follow if you're having snow, because we're in Texas. Yes, it's cold, but this is not snowing cold. This is not months on end cold. This is 1 or 2 nights cold. So if you're much colder than this may not work for you, but this is what works for us down here in the South. The way we deal with cold weather in our RV, 2 things. We have our one control system here, and we set our main AC, which is actually the control for the furnace, at like 70 degrees, which means it's going to maintain the inside of the RV at 70, and it's going to blow hot air down below around all the important stuff. We also come over to our monitor panel and we make sure our tank heaters are on. So now our water tank heaters are on. We have a furnace that is heating the underbelly, so all the important things like my tools and all of our stuff downstairs, as well as the hot water heater tank, all the lines downstairs, all the valves, it's all heated. Now inside, what we do during the daytime, and if it's not freezing out, we run this right here. So our furnace is not running during the daytime, or if it's above freezing, we try not to run the furnace because the stuff down there is not gonna freeze. So we try to maintain this because we're already paying for electricity, so we use this. We also use this right here in the toy hauler, and it's pointed kinda this direction, not towards the beds, because it keeps the room comfortable. That's how we survive when it's cold. Now at nighttime tonight, when it gets really cold, we can't run that. We actually had to turn that off. We run that heater back there. Don't worry that mess. We are currently trying to organize Christmas and new presents and old presents. Alicia, sorry I showed you this, but I'm trying to talk about the heater. Don't worry about that. Worry about the heater. So we run that heater at night to keep the toy hauler warm. We turn this off and we set our furnace to about 70. The reason we turn this off is because Grand Design decided to put this heater right here, right next to that. That is a thermostat for that. That right there is your AC. You're thinking, oh, your AC, who cares? Well, guess what? The AC in the main room is what controls the furnace. So if we set the furnace to 70 and this is running, that right there will read more than 70. So the furnace never comes on. It may be warm in here, but it may be very cold down there. If you guys have a Grand Design Momentum, what have you done to fix this? I have an idea. I'm gonna run it by you. I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking about. So our RV has 3 thermostats. One for our room, one for this room, one for the toy hauler. I was thinking if I could find a schematic or a drawing, I could swap 2 of the thermostats. So I could trick the furnace, which is run off that, instead of running off this temperature, run it off the one in the toy hauler, because that is the coldest room in the house. So maybe I could set them up on a switch for during the winter time. I flip it to winter mode, which swaps the main living room and the toy hauler thermostat with each other. So the furnace would run off what temperature is in there, and this right here could still run at night, and our furnace would still run because that room is the coldest room in the whole RV. And then summertime, we switch it back to normal mode. That way the ACs run off of the rooms they're in. You guys let me know, because I have found that when I ran that to be more comfortable in here, my furnace would never kicked on and the stuff downstairs got very cold. So that's what we do. We run that during the day, and that pretty much run the clock. And at nighttime that turns off, and we make sure the furnace is gonna run to make sure all the important stuff below us doesn't freeze up. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sure you guys up north are laughing at me right now because we're from Texas. We're not very good at this, and we purposely try to stay away from this. We're nowhere near as cold as y'all. Y'all are probably sitting in so much snow you can't even open the door. This is how we deal with it, and so far it's worked for us. But then again, we try to avoid being cold at all costs. We have been cold, but we've never been up north cold. You guys stay warm. I hope you survived the Arctic storm, and the winter is coming. I need to go check on Phil because he's in the truck. Also, I'm helping the neighbor next door because he doesn't actually live here. He is a remote worker and he was out of town, so I called him up and he's actually on his way, and I'm gonna help him winterize his because he's not gonna be in it. So we're gonna make sure it doesn't freeze with no one in it. Love you. See you in the next one.